Hey, it's Hannah, and welcome to my podcast, Our Genuine Connection. During your time here, I hope you let yourself experience what it means to be human, because that's really what life is about. Not long ago, my entire life was flipped upside down. My husband and soulmate Ian, the most joyful, calm, loving human, died in a workplace accident just 6 weeks before we were supposed to be married. And to be honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing, like almost at all. Ian and I have been sharing our lives online for over 5 years, and I've been creating content for over 7. That part of our life has always been about sharing love, joy, and connection. And now, even as I pivot everything, I want to continue sharing his love, his spirit, and the lessons he taught me. I'm figuring it out as I go, and I hope you'll come along with me. This podcast isn't polished, and it's definitely not about perfection. It's about showing up as we are. It's about walking through life together. It's about living with the lessons Ian taught me and continues to teach me, and carrying forward the love he shares with all of us. So whether you're grieving, healing, or just craving something real, thanks for being here. We're trying to figure this out together. I'm so glad you're here. And I believe Ian's glad I'm here too. Hi everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of Our Genuine Connection. My mom has slept over every night since Ian passed. I sleep on Ian's side, she sleeps on my side, and yeah, very thankful for you, Mommy, and Ian is too. Anyway, my mom is going to introduce herself, and then we're going to answer some questions from beautiful humans. Thank you so much for the questions.
Thankfully, I didn't jump into this river empty-handed. So I was a professional social worker for 35 years. I worked with children, families, men, women, and besides that work, I worked directly with families in palliative care in the community in people's homes, which was really a godsend. And I bring some other experiences to the table, which we'll get into as well. So I also grew up knowing that I was well loved and having parents, and particularly a mom, who taught me a lot about living with an open heart, and she was my mentor. So social work wasn't just my profession, it was kind of my calling.
Do you want to say what your name is?
My name's Debra, also known as Mom, a variety of other things, but yeah.
Okay, so we are going to start with some questions. So the first question is, your mom is a blessing.
Thank you.
How is your mom dealing with your grief, seeing you so sad? How is she coping?
I think I'm doing okay. It's, I had thought I might do hospice work as a volunteer in my retirement. I never in a million years would have imagined this. I think my job is to bear witness and hold space for Hannah's grief, and indeed sometimes that is agonizingly painful because I'm her mom and I can't make it go away, I can't make it better, but I can be beside her in the river so that perhaps it feels just a little bit less lonely.
How are you coping, Mommy?
I think I'm doing all right. We've been really blessed to have a lot of love and support. I have some amazing personal support. And I'll just sort of weave into this next discussion some of the tools that I use.
Number 3, I'm going to skip number 2 for right now. How is it that you're finding ways to cope? I've never had an easy time with grieving anything or anyone, so I tend to spiral easily. So I thought about this question before, and I would say, how am I coping? I wouldn't really say I'm coping. I would say that I'm grieving for months after, 14 weeks after, half of me was ripped away. Half of me and more. So, yeah, how am I coping?
As best as you can.
Yeah. Well, I'm here, so I think that's really great. I think that's like a huge sign, because if I'm here too, then I'm going to work hard and try and stay afloat when I'm able to. So, yeah, I would say that's positive. I don't think that anybody has an easy time with grieving. I think that like you literally just like need to let yourself grieve. And so I don't know, I think as best as I can with like so much love and support, and thank God for my mom and so many other people, but right now we're just going to focus on my mama. Thank God for you, mommy, because yeah. I don't know, I try and just keep staying here. So yeah, and I am. So
I don't know anyone who copes with grief without spiraling sometimes. I think that's a huge expectation to have of yourself, because part of grief is facing those really, really difficult, painful, uncomfortable feelings and allowing yourself to be in those feelings, which sometimes means spiraling and just doing your best to keep breathing and gasping for air. So you're not alone in spiraling. I would say that's everyone's experience in moments of grief. You're doing okay.
yeah, and in moments of life, like it's part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, things can change and you have no control over it. And so I think the base of like surviving is like feeling, because I think that's what grief is, like feeling like everything, and for like the rest of your life, at least the rest of my life, I will always, always, always grieve in. So many of us will. So yeah, I think it's just like part of life. Yeah. Okay, mommy, somebody said, and it's not, and what is weird? Thank you for this question. Maybe this is a weird question, but are the 5 stages of grief accurate to you? I've never experienced grief, and that's the only way I've heard it explained. I can't imagine your pain. We all love you. Thank you. We love you too.
I think those stages are accurate in terms of being very much part of the experience you go through, significant parts of the emotions that you go through when you're grieving. And one night I put on my professional hat in my own brain to remind me of those stages. Stages may not be the right word, because stages suggests that you go through it in an orderly fashion and you progress from one stage to the next, when in fact grief is a crazy-making emotional roller coaster.
Maybe
And
concept?
yeah, it's a concept that you go, it's not so orderly, it's far more messy. You don't go through one quote stage and graduate from there to the next stage. But the fact that when people are grieving, they go through feelings of denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And David Kessler now speaks about the need to make meaning from grief. So I think those are all relevant pieces. They're just not as tidy and linear as we were originally taught.
It's so weird. Love isn't a stage.
Well, I think love is present in all of the stages. And as people have said, grief is love without a place to find itself. Or I think love is the underpinning. Love and yearning, I think, are part of all of those pieces. But it's just a whole lot more messy than a tidy process would suggest.
Yeah. I've been reading some of a book, and yeah, she mentions like the 5 stages and says that the woman who created them didn't mean that they were supposed to be these like exactly like these like boxes that you tick, and it's like once you've gotten through one, then you get to graduate, like you said, to the other. If I had to describe, well, I wouldn't have one word to describe grief, but one of the endless, I don't know, parts or little ounces of it, I think, is like feeling everything all at once, and only like through these feelings, which includes like finding all these ways to cope, to stay alive, to breathe, to find support, to love, to feel.
You know, you previously referred to there sometimes being boulders in this river of grief, and sometimes there's whitewater rafting. It's unpredictable. It's a crazy emotional roller coaster, and you can be relatively fine one moment and feel overwhelmed the next, which is just normal. And it's about allowing yourself to be okay with not being okay, because your life as you thought it was planned and going to unfold got ripped away from underneath you. So, of course, that's a really difficult and unsettling process. And it's messy. Like, it's just can't be as tidy as people would like. But if you don't let yourself feel all those difficult feelings, and your style is to process it out loud and to bring it to podcast, to share with others for their benefit as well. And
That's not, I don't feel like I'm there yet at all. No. Sorry to interrupt for a second, but we're going to back up a second. No, I don't. No, totally uncomfortable with that whole concept. I'm just doing this to stay alive right now and show up. Yeah, nice of you to think that. But no, maybe in like 3 years or something. But I'm not comfortable with that.
No. Sometimes grief is just letting yourself be with uncomfortable feelings.
Okay. Also, me and my mom will do more podcasts together because I will keep showing up. So also, a way that you cope, sometimes you're like, no, that just doesn't work for me right now. And sometimes the other person can deal with it. And sometimes they can in ways that you wish they could do differently. And I don't know, you don't leave the person? I don't know.
Right. You just keep showing up and making space for their feeling and holding them to try and create safe space. I think that there are parts of grief. Everyone's journey is unique in their own, which can lead to some really difficult feelings of loneliness, because Hannah and I spend a lot of time in each other's heads, but no one can always accurately read each other's minds. Relationships are wonderful and simultaneously rich and sometimes bumpy. Always, like in the very best of times, they can have their challenges, and these are tough times, but I think we're getting through them.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
And like as the time goes by too, like I don't know, you are most snappy in life, just like in general with the people that you're closest with. And I don't know, we're both doing our best. And I think I know we're both doing really pretty well. And it like really also just have had like a really close relationship my whole life, have had difficult parts of it because it's life. But I'm really lucky. Yeah.
Thanks. You know what? Having a background.
Just so sad about all of this.
There was a night I had to pull out my therapist hat for myself, for my own knowledge, and run through those, quote, stages, which I'd memorized years ago as a student: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. And of course, in our closest relationships is where we're safest to express anger. And when you feel you don't have much control over your life, or your illusion of control has been broken open, it's hard. So I just sort of put on my hat and realized that, yeah, of course there's some anger when things change and shift and you have to pivot so radically. And I'm Hannah's mom, and hopefully a safe place. So
Thank God for that.
So it was really fortunate for me that I came into this with some background and some tools, having worked palliative care and having had, and I studied yoga off and on in my life since I was 19, but for 20 years I had a phenomenal yoga mindfulness meditation class taught by my soul sister and super dear friend since I was 7 years old.
Since you were 7. I thought since you were 5.
No, 7. She came back to Calgary at the age of 7. So the concept of impermanence and that everything in life is impermanent can be terrifying, or it can be, if you can accept that life is ever changing and that everything is impermanent, it doesn't mean accepting doesn't mean we have to embrace and loving it, because it's tough. Grief is painful, and there's no way around that. You have to let yourself accept and experience those really difficult emotions. Suffering sometimes has to do with the conversations in our head and the railing against what is, because as Ian was known to say, as was my sister-in-law Evie, it is what it is. So mindful silence, I could say it's taken me 71 years to learn to sit in silence, sometimes journaling, using breath, which I was able to use professionally as well as personally, and teach people that we can use intentional breath to relax our bodies and minds, to activate the parasympathetic calming system. And we think we have to calm our bodies in order to calm our minds, but sometimes just teaching people how to use breath, that if our exhalation's slightly longer than our inhalation, that it invokes our calming system. That can be really helpful.
Okay. This is like way too depressing, and I'm not into it. No, seriously. So we're going to do a nice question. I see a dog in your profile picture. Is that yours and Ian's dog? If so, how have they been since he passed? Sending you so much love. Yeah, we have 2 dogs. So one of our dogs is Axel. He's a mini Australian Shepherd. He's so cute, and he's an old grumpy man. And Ian had gotten him with a previous girlfriend. And yeah, then I got to become his mummy, or stepmom, however you want to put it. He's my baby. So yes, we have Axie, and Kalev is our other one, which means dog in Hebrew. He's an English Springer Spaniel, and yeah.
He's a crazy boy.
Yeah.
He's a crazy boy, and thank God for dogs, as I've been saying, because my friend also came up recently with the term, or referred to the term, co-regulation. I am so grateful to have the dogs around, because co-regulating with Kalev has proven to be really wonderful. He's a crazy boy. He's full of boundless energy and makes us smile.
When Ian was here, even like we would joke about how Caleb acts like an 8-year-old boy and like has the same energy as Ian. And it's just like so silly and funny. But honestly, with the dogs, right in the beginning, like it was really hard for me. I don't know, like for the first few days, like, it was really hard. Because I like every time I looked at them, I'm just like, Daddy's gone, you know? So that's really hard. But slowly but surely, like, and not so slowly actually at all. They, I don't know, bring me like so much comfort. Since my mom has been sleeping here, Axel, our small dog, has been sleeping at my parents' house with my dad so that he doesn't get lonely. But also before Ian passed, Axie would go keep my parents company and get a bit of a break from his younger brother. For like different amounts. We would miss him every time, but my parents really like to have him. So he's in great, wonderful hands, but I'm like really missing him. I think that maybe like I feel like when my mom goes home, I don't know, also like we're not even going to go there as to how that's going to happen. In terms of like we'll just take it moment by moment, and then half night by half night, and then night by night sort of thing. But I do want Axie back, when that process begins, because he's our boy. And I used to sit on the couch and have Ian next to me and then our dogs, and I just would look around and be like, our boys, like me and my boys, like this is so perfect and I'm so thankful. And so I just want my boys back. And if Ian can't come back in the ways that I wish he could, I just want Axie. And I want Ian. So, I think that will be really good too. I know that it will be. And
I'm choosing, I believe that when Caleb and I co-regulate together, I find that term really helpful, because when I'm patting Caleb, I'm aware that it soothes me, but I think it's soothing for him as well, because I think the dogs are grieving also and trying to figure out what's going on. They're really sensitive to emotion. So it's sad for them too, but there's comfort in patting and taking Caleb out to catch the ball, because he's ball crazy, and
both of the dogs are also food crazy. Both are my fault.
I think the dogs are really helpful and make a big difference, as has been the company of the kindness that we have had from strangers and people who at one time were strangers but have become friends in the last 13 weeks. So, those two things are significant. Sometimes I do music therapy. I have a crazy brain that has, I play piano by ear, and we have an electric piano here. I haven't played much piano in the last 3 months, because some of that just gets personal and painful for Han sometimes. Hannah had wanted me to write a song for their wedding, which I do improvise musically, but typically that's kind of informally, and sometimes out of that appears a song. But it's typically not intentional, so I was kind of nervously trying to put together a song for their wedding. And more recently, I sat down and just let my fingers wander. And they did start to create a song for Hannah and Ian. But it was it got a little too heavy even for me. My brain just does this grief therapy with me. It got to be a bit much, but one point I went down and just out of my brain, I didn't even know. Like, my brain is a crazy archive of songs. I didn't even know I knew this song. But I sat down and out came a Beatles song about And I Love Her, which is, the words are just incredible. I give her all my love, that's what I do. And if you saw my love, you'd love her too. And I love her. A love like ours will never die as long as I have you near me. So I didn't even know I knew that song, and it just...
Can we pause for a second? Can't keep talking if I'm blowing into the microphone. Oh, I really wanted myself to be like lighter.
Yeah, it's part of fucking grief. You want to be lighter, and sometimes it's just sad. So one night my brain went and played the Beatles song, And I Love Her. It just came out. I didn't even know I knew that song. After I played that song, out came Taj Mahal's fishing song. So if you've never heard that, and Ian loved fishing. And so there was a beautiful song that, I don't know, I have to think came from Ian because I didn't even know I knew it. And then the fishing song, which was definitely Ian. And so I think there have been a number of times that Ian has made his presence known. Some pretty magical experiences.
We won't talk about them.
No.
They're intimate. We're keeping them. For now. For who knows how long.
And sometimes he makes us laugh. Plays tricks. Sometimes it's hard to be lighthearted.
Yeah, I just said, like, I wanted this episode to be light. And I feel like it is not.
Grief has moments of lightness, and that's when I know I might be doing okay because my dark sense of humor, which has partly to do with my career and somewhat to do with my nature, has become darker at times lately. Sometimes I just keep those jokes in my head because I'm not sure if I'm fit for civil company anymore.
Imagine how I feel. Imagine how I feel.
But I know I'm doing okay when I can make fun of myself, so...
Hide me away in a cage and throw away the lock for 20 years, please.
Not 20 years, sorry. You don't have 20 years, but yeah.
I don't have 20 years.
Well, you do, but not 20 years to be in a cave.
Cage. I said cage.
Oh, cage. No,
Yeah.
definitely not in a cage, sorry. Cave, maybe in the tropics, but...
I'm okay to go to a cave. Not talk to anyone. Except for Ian. I told my mom the other day if I make it to like 90, like I'm going to be the craziest 90-year-old woman you've met. So enjoy.
Come from good stock in that regard.
Great, yeah. Okay, has anything helped you? I don't think that I asked this one yet.
Well, I think I've referred to some of the things that help me. My brain sings.
Can I answer?
Hugging, touching. I need touch a lot. Sorry, go ahead, of course.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I think like what I said before, I feel like maybe we answered this question already. Yeah, I don't know. That question feels overwhelming now.
I think I have a strong image in my mind of all the hands that touched Hannah in the early stages.
Sorry, yes, it's amazing. It was so amazing. And it actually makes me laugh so much too, because it was literally like, I don't know how it works. Can I just like casually say TV shows? I don't know. It's a particular TV show. And there's this scene that a woman's having a baby and all of these women have their hands on her and they're like, in unison. And that's literally what it was. And thank God and thank all of those women and every incredible person. But yeah, it was really amazing. It was also like so, oh my gosh, to look back at, like funny and also just like,
Well,
what?
the kindness of friends, strangers who became friends, like the kindness and support we've received has also been just remarkable. Remarkable. From people that were part of our community and a part of many communities in which we participate. But some of you folks and people who just showed up with a lot of heart and a lot of capacity and a lot of love and a lot of food, and that unbelievable outpouring of love and support, I think, has very much helped to hold us through this.
Of course, there's like no way. Of course. I just like don't, I'm like not, I find it incredibly overwhelming to even think about. So yeah, I'm just like really overwhelmed by my mom even saying that. Yeah.
We should do appreciate it though.
Next question. So yeah, how do I cope? Also, sometimes by just like not doing it or not going there or not like the whatever, whether it's like I can't take the garbage out right now or whatever personal boundary I'm having to try and maybe understand after so much trial and error and then some and then like blah, 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 blah. I don't know. You just have to like keep going. Like, I don't really think, and like also like it's so soon since for us, like I don't really think that there's like any like rhyme or reason.
Grief can be so confusing because there is no one roadmap, and it's got twists and turns and hills and valleys and
everything that you could imagine all at once and then none at all happening at the same time, and then so much more.
So it can be very confusing for people. I know, having done a lot of professional work around this, has fostered greater understanding for me, which is really helpful. And just being there. I lost my parent, but, you know, those were expected deaths in some ways. And that's never right, but you still...
Not Sadie as much.
No, I mean, I've professionally and personally, I've had my experiences with death. It's also been one of some of the most blessed work that I've done, in that when you can be with people during such an intense time in their lives and in family life, it allows for some really heartfelt experience. And your dad said to me years ago, you were never as spiritually alive as when you did palliative work. And I said, between palliative work and Mara's class, it was just a constant reminder that the only moment we're guaranteed is this exact one. And so understanding that just kind of also allows for hearts to open. And yeah, so it's a pretty mixed bag. Most exquisitely beautiful and simultaneously agonizingly painful. So, of course, it's confusing and crazy-making at times, but it helps to know that.
You know, me and my mom are very close, and yeah, but this experience is pretty awful. Right now, she was just rubbing my leg, and I don't, like, if I'm feeling overstimulated in different ways, which I am right now, so I'm just going to talk through it. I don't want her hand moving. Like, right now, I want her hand on me, but I don't want it moving. So I just, like, put my hand on her so that she would stop moving it, but still. And I know that, like, with me and my mom, like, I could also move it off, and, like, I don't need, sometimes, we just work through things, like, and overall continue to work through things. And she's my mom. And I'm so lucky that you're my mom. And Ian loves and loved you so, so, so much. And he, felt just joy and just totally a part of our family. Which was awesome for all of us. And also, like, to look back, it's so painful, but to see, like, the process of us just getting more and more serious and more in love. And then my mom had said, like, I don't remember how long after Ian passed, that she didn't always know it was him, but then when she knew it was him, like, she knew, right? What did you say? If you remember.
I don't remember exactly, but I know that you and Ian offered each other a safe space for each of you to heal some wounded parts of yourself. I'm very grateful to him for that.
Me too. And sometimes, like, me and my mom and Ian used to, like, dance. So, we haven't danced yet, which is fine.
But you did yesterday with butternut squash, Ian.
Yeah.
In a video, which made me happy to see.
Yeah, I don't know. Three of us were really close. It was really nice. And now we're learning this whole new thing. And I'm really lucky that I have my mama.
Thanks, babe.
Thank you. Okay.
One hand has capacity. She's very caring and concerned about my well-being sometimes when she can do that. And, it's a muddy river. It's a muddy river sometimes. And we're just one step at a time. Because that's the only thing you can do.
Can you acknowledge, like, anything a little bit good, too? Because I feel like
I
this
think
just made me seem like I just, like, shit on you and freak out and get mad at you all the time.
Nope. There's times where you're really caring, really concerned about whether I'm eating, drinking, all of those basic self-care things that we can know about, but are still sometimes really hard to initiate. No, I think we have some incredibly solid love as a base in our relationship. And that helps a lot. And you're not always dumping on me, but it's hard for some of those hard feelings not to be part of grief too.
I'm doing my best, everybody. I'm doing my best. Okay, we're going to end this podcast with a love note from Ian. And it says, I love you so much, baby. You're my everything. I'm so excited for a future together. I love you with all my heart, baby. Love, Ian, XOXO. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Love you all. Love you, Ian. Love you, Ian. Love you, Ian. Thanks, Mommy.
Love you, babes. Love you, Ian. We miss your physical presence a lot. Love your family, and thanks for being with us.